broke the cork off.
Oh, that's puke. Ugh.
Okay. I don't know what to do. Maybe I'm just sensing some umami on this. Because, ooh, mama, that's good. I still haven't found my first Blanton's. Hey, gang. Thursday night, time to go. Let's get her done. We're doing Noble Oak. This was hard to find anything substantial about this company. I did find one person that reviewed it, and they said, well, it's not really a company. I mean, it's a company because you'd have to be, but it isn't a company because they just kind of don't exist. I can see the criticism. I can understand it because it was really tough to find anything interesting about this company. I even called the distillery that puts this out asking for some information, and they never got back with me. It's not the first time I've called. It's not the first time somebody hasn't gotten back with me. So I think it's just par for the course. People are busy. I think this company, we'll get into it, I think they have like a total of maybe 14 staffers. So it's not a huge company. They're an Ohio company, though. Let's get into this. Noble Oak. Outside of the online stores, again, not a lot of information. Let's see. This one is 90 proof, 45% alcohol by volume. Noble Oak Spirits Company, launched in 2017, is a collaboration with Edrington of Scotland, better known for their Macallan Scotch. They also do some gins and some other stuff. Doug Hall, the founder and CEO of Brain Brew Distilling, and that's the company that I called. His co-founder is the COO, Joe Gergash. And Doug Hall, the founder and CEO, had been working with Macallan in Scotland 20 years ago and partnered with Edrington to blend MGP juice, bring it to Brain Brew Distillery in Newton, Ohio, for something called compression finishing. Now, one place that I read is basically you take this, so it's going to have to age, right? It has to age at least, well, a little bit, because it has to be in a newly charred oak barrel. Has to do that at least for a little bit. Doesn't have to do it for long, but you got to do it in order to call it bourbon. And then after that, it makes its way to Brain Brew Distillery, and they do this compression finishing. And one person that I read about it, he said it's kind of like putting bourbon in a pressure cooker with staves. And that sounds about right. Bourbon's flavor, of course, is created by the ebb and flow. It gets warmer, and the molecules in the wood spread out, get wider. That juice goes into the barrel. It gets colder. Those molecules come closer together. They push that bourbon back out, and it does this. It goes back and forth over a number of years, and that's where bourbon gets its color, where it gets its flavor. Well, that's how that works. Brain Brew wanted to reduce the variation in that interaction. Oxidation, by the way, means a lot too. So as that angel share goes up into heaven, you know, you've got that what's the word I'm looking? Not dehydration, but anyway, it goes away. It goes away. And the proof goes up. Well, as the barrel empties because of the fluid leaving the barrel, still the word isn't coming to me. Dehydration is the only one thing I want to say. That's stupid. Why can't I remember? Anyway, so the oxygen that interacts with the bourbon in the barrel, that lends to flavor as well. Well, these guys want to reduce the variation in the interaction. Instead of variations in weather conditions and barrel storage locations, they created a process for heating and cooling that controls the temperature to within 1/10 of a degree, resulting in a 99.5% reduction in variance. Now that's some type A personality level of quality control right there. Alan's watching. Hey Alan, how are you? What is the minimum aging time for not tasting yucky? Boy, there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot that goes into that. Goodness gracious. It could be the type of barrel. It could be the level of char. It could be the mash bill that you put in. I mean, you could I've got some ryes that are aged 9 months. I mean, I like it when it's aged longer. It takes out some of the harshness, but it doesn't have to be. And I had one just not long ago. I can't remember which one it was, but it was a 2-year aging statement, and it was actually it was the Still Austin 2-year aging statement. Pretty darn good, honestly. But bourbon requires no age statement on the bottle unless it's 2 years or less. But they also don't require any aging at all for it to be bourbon. There are some requirements for it to be straight bourbon. It has to be in the barrel for 2 years. But I mean, you don't have to age bourbon at all. Matter of fact, I've got some stuff back there that's it's considered white dog. I don't think I have any within reach, though. No. So, as a matter of fact, some of the stuff that we had when we were training to be executive bourbon stewards, it was white dog. So, evaporation, that's the word. Thank you. Thank you, I appreciate that. Is there a maximum time? No. No, I mean, there's probably a maximum time of effectiveness, but if you leave bourbon in a barrel for 50 years, it's probably not going to gain a whole lot after maybe 20. Anyway, let's get back into this. So they wanted to reduce that. It goes through a double oak maturation process where it's aged in charred new American white oak barrels for a minimum of 1 year before a compression finishing with Spanish sherry oak cask staves. So 1 year, and then they put it in a pressure cooker, basically, with Spanish sherry oak cask staves. So now this stuff here, it says every bottle plants a tree. 1 million trees and counting is what it says on the, I think it's called a flag. But what I got from their website is that they are on a mission to revitalize the earth. That's their words, not mine. By planting trees, building communities, and of course, great whiskey. They're doing urban reforestation because, you get into an urban area and there's not a lot of trees, not a lot of foliage, not a lot of shelter from the sun's rays and the heat bouncing off of the concrete and stuff. So the more trees in the city, the better. Good luck finding room for enough of them. According to them, they've committed to planting 1,240,000 trees with a company called One Tree Planted. 1,114,299 trees have been planted via completed projects. 85,701 trees are part of projects currently in progress, and 40,000 trees are planned for future projects. Now, in my home state of Ohio, 3,709 trees were planted in Farmingham Township, way over on the east side of the state, where they have lots of trees. If you've ever been in that area, Cuyahoga Valley, there's lots of trees. It's a very pretty area. As a matter of fact, I'm in Northwest Ohio, where we don't have as many trees, and I'm jealous of Northeast Ohio that now has 3,700 trees, plus 9. Anyhow, they're east of Cleveland, northwest of Warren, which is north of Youngstown. Again, it's an Ohio company. You'd think that Ohio would get maybe a few more trees, especially Northwest Ohio. I would love to see trees line the highways. That way, if it snows, really blowy, snowy stuff, it's not blowing across the highway. It doesn't drift, right? That would be a great idea. Shala's watching. Hey, Shala. Before it goes bad or outlives its peak. Not sure how to say it. Bourbon doesn't really peak. That's a wine thing. Speaking of wine, this label is kind of wine looking, isn't it? Somebody I read online was really criticizing this because they thought it was too plain, but I like it. I think it's elegant myself. Let's get it opened. Okay. I think I hurt myself. Before it goes bad. No, bourbon is not going to go bad. It's just not going to gain anything. And the longer it's in the barrel past 18, 20 years, 12 years, whatever they decide, it could maybe get tannic. It could get tannic, being young too, because that's a lot of those tannins are going to be in the barrel, and the longer it sits in there, those tannins could leak out. So it's just, there's a lot of different ways to look at it. The other thing to consider too is if you want to resell that barrel, like Japanese whiskey, Irish whiskey, Scotch, some Canadian whiskeys, they tend to reuse American bourbon barrels. And you don't want to give them a bourbon barrel that's been completely used up, right? You want to send them something with a little bit of life left in the barrel. Hey, Shala, and such. And if they kill it by leaving juice in it for 40 years, plus that's a long time to wait before you finally sell a barrel. I mean, wouldn't you want to spin it out of there every 10 or 12 years or less, 8 years, 6 years, like Buffalo Trace is a 6-year. Then you sell that barrel. Yeah. But that's one nice thing about these guys is they are going back and they're planting in trees. And I would hope what they're planting is oak trees. They didn't say specifically, but because they're noble oak and they're a whiskey and they rely on oak trees, you'd think, I hope, they're planting white oak trees. Because one tree doesn't even make up a whole barrel. You'd have to have a pretty big tree to make up a barrel. So I think a tree is about a third of a barrel. So it takes a lot of trees to give enough barrels for the bourbon industry. And I've been trying to encourage Ohio to put together some sort of incentives for farming, that if somebody wanted to set aside some land and start planting white oak trees so we don't run out. So that could be a pretty nice industry for somebody with 1,000 acres, or 10,000 acres. Plant a whole bunch of white oak trees. Could be all right. Let's see. Rob's watching. Hey, Rob. Are there names for the different shapes of corks? No, not really. Not that I'm aware of. The only really difference is whether you have a real cork or a synthetic cork. And sometimes it's tough to tell. This is a real cork, I believe. Synthetic corks are plastic generally, but as far as names for corks, no. Sometimes there's a special thing on the top. Old Elk, their toppers are made from the same company that does Otterbox. Frey Ranch, they have metal embedded in their topper. Then Town Branch, their toppers are glass. So you can get different types of toppers, but they're going to have cork or plastic on the bottom of them. All right. Good questions. Lots of questions. Good questions. All right. So 1 year in a barrel, and then pressure cooked. What was the word they used? Compression finishing with the sherry oak staves. It sounds a little bit gimmicky, but if it's good, it's good. So we're going to find out. This is a fresh crack, never been opened before. I feel like it's necessary for me to give you that because it's going to be different after it sits. I'm tempted. I got that Frey Ranch back there that we did a couple of weeks ago that I just didn't care for. I'm tempted to go get that and open it up again tonight and see what I think of it now. Because the Frey Ranch bourbon that I had before, I liked better after it sat. And the rye, which I liked very much on a crack, I started to like less over time. Isn't it goofy? Oh, I almost broke my own rule. We got to nose it first. Sorry, I got excited. All right. There's a little bit of astringency that comes right off the top. Not bad. It's there. That sherry cask is coming out. I'm getting those sherry notes, that black cherry, for sure. It's actually kind of overwhelming some of the other senses. I'm not getting some of the other things right off the top. That ethanol is needs to calm down a little bit. I need to swirl it. Swirly, swirly, swirly. All right. Yeah, those sherry notes are really a bit overwhelming on the nose. I'm not getting the caramels. I'm not getting the vanillas. I'm not. There's an earthiness underneath it. Really tough to pick out. This is MGP juice. They say, we partner with a distillery, a custom distillery in Indiana. It's MGP. And they're not doing anything that other companies don't do. There's a lot of companies that just get MGP, they do a barrel thing, and they bottle it, and they sell it, and the only cost they have is the juice that they buy, and the barrels that they have to put it in, and of course the structures they have to house it in. This company's growing. It's doing well. I don't know how far outside of Ohio this product in particular is distributed, but I see this everywhere, so okay, we'll try it. Newton, Ohio. Newton. There I got a little butterscotch, and the sherry notes are sweetening up just a little bit as I continue to wait, continue to swirl this around. It's getting a little sweeter. All right. Now we can go ahead and sip it. Okay. That ain't half bad, honestly. I was wanting to hate it, and I don't. Mouthfeel is just this side of thin. I would say an average mouthfeel. It's not buttery, silky, blah, blah, blah. It's decent. It's got a little more viscosity than the Penelope that we tried a couple of weeks ago. That was underwhelming. More viscosity than that early Ezra Brooks 90, which they don't even bottle anymore. Definitely better viscosity than the Benchmark 8. So I would say about an average mouthfeel. It's all right. The bloom, a little slow, but it was there. It's only 90 proof, so you know I'm kind of a proof hound. So is it going to hurt my palate? Probably not. This week I was sipping on some Whiskey War, and then I got into that Nashville Barrel Company that we tried a few weeks ago. That's cask strength. So a 90 proof pour, is it going to affect me? Not as easily, but I did feel some bloom on that, and it was nice. It moved a little bit, came up my tongue, spread out just a little. It was all right. It was okay. So that's mouthfeel. Let's see what we can do as far as flavor goes. Okay, first of all, generally I don't like a sherry finish. I don't find it sweet enough. Sherry is not the sweetest of wines, I get that. But I just always want my sherry finishes to be a little sweeter, and this one is. They extracted every little good part of that sherry out of this. I don't know how long the extraction process is. I know they said for a year it sits. It just says that it sits in the white oak barrels for a minimum of 1 year before compression finishing in Spanish sherry oak cask staves. So it doesn't say how long it does that, how long they go through that process. Obviously, it's very regimented by the way they do everything else. This is actually a very, it's actually pretty good. It's got a nice flavor to it. And gimmicky or not, if what's in the bottle tastes good, fine. Am I going to tell you this is super complex and it's blowing me away? No. But is it a fine glass of whiskey? Yeah. Actually, it is. And it's $35. So it's not like you're spending a lot of money on it. One of the things I called the company about is I wanted to find out what the amalgam of the mash bill was. They might be using a series of mash bills. But ultimately, they have to have a final mash bill. So you might have this one that's got 71% corn, and this one that's got 51% corn, and this one that's got 27% rye, and this one that's got 5% rye, and this one that's got 5% malted barley, and this one that's got 18% malted barley. And then they take those mash bills and they squish them all together, put them in the same cask, and they let it sit, or maybe the compression thing. Well, no, they'll put it in the one cask, so let it sit for a year or more, and then they bring it back and they put it in the compression thing, and that's what they've got with the staves. So I don't know how many mash bills go into this. I don't know what the final representation is. It's not, they don't talk about it, but I sure would like to know, and that's why I called them. If I had to guess, I will guess for you. Because it's sweeter, I'm going to tell you it's probably got at least 75% corn. I'm going to guess maybe 8 or 9% rye. There's some nice rye spice that peeks through. With the sherry cask, it's tough to tell what the percentage of malted barley might be. But, you know, you might be 8 or 9%, maybe less, maybe 5%. It's got some decent notes, so I would guess that their malted barley content's a little higher. This is not bad. Once again, just so you can see it, I am using this Glencairn glass. This is a result of my class to become an executive bourbon steward. So this is going to be my official glass, and I've got another one in case something happens to this one, but this will be my official glass of the Bourbcast now. Save my other ones for other things. The other thing that I wanted to show you, and I thought this was kind of funny. So this is my photo of Noble Oak, and it's in the crawl of an oak tree. So it has started to hollow out. I took this photo myself. It's decent, it's okay. Now, the photo that I found online, they put it on a cut tree. Their mission is to grow trees, and they put it on a cut tree. I just thought that was funny. Now, I mean, you have to cut down the tree to make an oak barrel. I totally understand that. But their mission in life is to reforest. They took a picture of their bourbon on a cut tree. It's just funny. It's just funny to me. I took a picture and respected the tree. They cut it up. It's just funny. All right. Alan's asking questions. What does it mean for a flavor to be complex? Oh boy, that's going to take a little bit of explanation. When you have a complex bourbon, sometimes the flavor changes. For instance, Woodford Reserve claims to have 200 different noticeable notes in their bourbon, where every time you taste it, oh, I'm getting some vanilla. Oh, I'm getting some creme brulee. Oh, I'm getting some graham cracker. Oh, I'm getting, where you can just go whole hog on all these different flavors. There are some bourbons that are less complex and they don't present themselves as much. One of the most complex pours that I've ever enjoyed, there's a couple actually. I really like the Old Forester 1920. I really like the New Riff Single Barrel. I really like the, what's it called? Smoke Wagon, small batch. The Kentucky Owl Confiscated, even though it frustrates people because they don't know what's in it and where it comes from. And they're actually having some trouble right now. They're in financial trouble. I think they filed bankruptcy. I think the people that run Stoley's also run Kentucky Owl, but I could be wrong about that. And Stoley's filed for bankruptcy as well, which is a real shame because that's I know a lot of us don't like vodka. I like vodka. There's like not a spirit I don't like. I like tequila, I like vodka, I like gin, I like whiskey, I like it all. But Stoley's they filed for bankruptcy. Hopefully they'll pull it back out because I do really like Stoley's. All right. Stolichnaya. I can say it. All right, one more of these and we're going to do water. Got a really nice caramel out of that one. As it sits, it mellows. And the complexity starts to show up a little bit, Alan. It's just bringing out different flavors where I try it this time and something else happens. I try it this time, something else happens. It may change on the mouthfeel. It may, like I'm going to add some water to it now. That may change its viscosity. It may make it that much more buttery, silky. We'll find out. Just a couple. Just two. Just two. Trish is watching. Hey, Trish. Noble Oak. An Ohio product, sort of. It's a strange marriage between Indiana whiskey, an Ohio company, and Scotland. And whatever they're doing it right. This is actually pretty tasty. Now I've got a group that's coming over on Tuesday, and we're going to be sipping on this one. So I can't have too much of it. I got to save some of it so they can have it too. But you know, if I find a good bourbon that surprises me, and this is one that surprises me, I didn't think it would be this good, and I'm really enjoying it. I want to be able to share this with other people. And if somebody has a problem with, they don't want to drink too much, I've got these little communion cups that they can have just a sip, and that's all they need. So that's fine. But we'll see how people feel. And I've got a bunch of Glencairns, so it's good. It's good. All right. So this is with a little water on it. Let's see what happened to it. That's interesting. It changed. So, Alan, this goes back to what I would tell you about something that's complex, and this is surprising me. I would never have guessed this would change. And it did. 2 drops. A lot of that sweetness of the sherry went away. I mean, it was surprising. It was surprising how much it changed. I'm actually getting more of the actual whiskey notes out of it right now than the sherry notes. It's less fruity than it was. The viscosity on the mouth, that got better. It's quite nice now. It's added some definite love. Just got a text from the group that's meeting on Tuesday. They're saying what all they're gonna bring. I'm not flexing. I'm not going to be going, hey, I've got this one, and I've got this one, and look what I've got. Oh, sure, you can have a little sip. I'm not flexing. I'm bringing out Noble Oak for $35. This is what I'm bringing. I don't have to flex. And they're going, we want to see your burb cave. No. No, not with it in this condition. I mean, you don't see it. You see the set the way it is. This room is a wreck. The construction, I'm not even done with it. I've got a lot to do. You can't tell on that side of the camera. I got work to do. And they don't know that my Bourbcast is going on right now. I'm going to shut my phone down. I'm going to quiet it off. There. Good. Good. All right. So let me see if I can get you some more notes. Now that it's changed, it took those sherry notes right out. I actually like it better on water because it doesn't have that sweetness of the sherry. I didn't mind it with. Again, normally I don't like a sherry pour, but this one's pretty good. And the taste of the whiskey itself without that sherry sweetness, 2 drops is all it took. And I'm getting the cinnamons, a little caramel or caramel if you have a degree. There actually is some nice graham cracker in there. This is a nice pour. I am surprised. This could be a daily drinker. And by daily drinker, I mean you don't have to drink it daily. But this would not be a bad bottle to have handy at all times, like this, a bottle of Bullet. You know, some of the lower price stuff that's pretty decent for what it is you're getting. Bullet's a little higher rye. This, I think, is a little lower rye. It's actually surprisingly good. I'm really surprised at how much I like this. I really wanted to hate it. I don't know why. I don't know why I wanted to hate it, but I did. Maybe it's the gimmicks. I don't know. All right, so let's do a final swaller, and we'll put it on ice. What time is it? Oh, I gotta hurry. Oh, I don't have to hurry because I didn't bring a glass. All right, we're not doing ice. Oops. All right, so the next one that we're doing, and I didn't bring it down with me, but we're gonna do the Clyde Mays. It was recommended to me. It just happens to be one that I haven't tried before. I don't remember the proof on it. I don't remember really anything about it. All I know is they said, "Have you tried that yet?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't." So they said, "Buy it." And I went, "Okay." And it was that easy. It was that easy. I can be easily swayed. It doesn't take much. I'm easy like a Sunday morning, honestly. So Clyde Mays will be next week. I really have to ask, what degree does one need to say caramel? It's an elitism thing. It's a thing for academia, where, if you're just a bearded weirdo like me, it's caramel. But if you have a degree, it's caramel, right? It's just something I made up. It's part of the bingo card. If I ever get the bingo cards done, it'll be part of the bingo cards. Okay, Alan? All right. So Clyde Mays next week. Recommendation here, Noble Oak's pretty good. I'm surprised, but I have really enjoyed this pour. It's going to be tough for me to stay out of it for my group coming on Tuesday, but I'm going to stay out of it. I'm going to say no, and it's going to be left for them to give it a try, and hopefully they like it as much as I do. It'll be interesting to hear their notes as we go through the gauntlet and put it on water and potentially put it on ice, depending on if somebody wants it that way, so they can try it different ways. That's my job as an executive bourbon steward, is to present the liquid in as many different ways as I can to see how you like it the best. For this one, I liked it just fine, neat, but on water, it pulled out some of that sherry, gave me some different characteristics, and I really enjoyed it. So, Clyde Mays next week. I want to say thank you for coming. Thanks for being here. You didn't have to be doing this. You could be. We got a big weekend coming up, Father's Day weekend. For the dads out there, I hope you enjoy your weekend. I hope your kids give you the honor that you deserve. I hope you have a great Flag Day and Father's Day weekend. It's a busy weekend. There's a lot going on. Let's hope the weather is nice. I already had an event I was supposed to go do tomorrow. It's been canceled because of the impending weather. But that's okay. That means I can do other stuff. It's fine. I'll just sit at home and drink. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit at home and drink. No, I'm not. That's a joke. I will be busy. All right, guys. Thank you again, and we will see you next Thursday with Clyde Mays.